Good morning. I hope you are enjoying yourself so far. Got my cup of coffee here. Cheers. All right, this morning we're going to start off with cleaning up our addictions. One of the primary ways we mask our fears is through addictions. Addictions suppress the emotions so that we don't feel. However, there are many kinds of addictions besides the chemical ones. There are also what I call pattern addictions. Patterns we adopt to keep us from being present in our lives. If we don't want to deal with what's in front of us, or if we don't want to be where we are, we have a pattern that keeps us out of touch with our lives. For some people, it is a food addiction or a chemical addiction. There may be a genetic disposition for alcoholism. However, the choice to stay sick is always an individual one. So often, when we talk about something being hereditary, it is really the little child's acceptance of the parent's ways of handling fear. For others, there are emotional addictions. You can be addicted to finding fault in people. No matter what happens, you will always find someone to blame. It's their fault. They did it to me. Maybe you are addicted to running up bills. There are many of you addicted to being in debt. You do everything to keep yourselves over your heads in debt. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the amount of money you have. You can be addicted to rejection. Everywhere you go, you attract others who reject you. You will find them. However, the rejection on the outside is a reflection of your own rejection. If you don't reject yourself, nobody else will either. Or if they do, it certainly won't matter to you. Ask yourself, what am I not accepting about myself? There are plenty of people addicted to illness. They are always catching something or worrying about getting sick. They seem to belong to the illness of the month club. If you are going to be addicted to anything, why not be addicted to loving yourself? You can be addicted to doing positive affirmations or doing something that is supportive of you. Part 2, self-help groups. Self-help groups have become the new social form. I see this as a very positive move. These programs do tremendous good. People with similar problems getting together, not to whine and complain, but to find ways to work through these issues and improve the quality of their lives. There is now a group for almost every problem you can think of. Many of them are listed in the phone book under Community Services in the front of your yellow pages. I know you can find one that is right for you. Many churches now hold groups. You could even go to the local health food store, one of my favorites, and see what is listed on their bulletin board. If you are serious about changing your life, you will find a way. The 12-step programs are everywhere. 12-step programs have been around for some time, and they have developed a format that really works and brings about wonderful results. There are Al-Anon program for people who live with or were raised by addicted people is one of the best groups for all sorts of people. Part 3, feelings are our inner gauge. When growing up in a troubled or dysfunctional family, we learn to avoid conflict whenever possible, and this results in the denial of our feelings. We often do not trust others to meet our needs, so we don't even ask for help. We are convinced that we must be strong enough to handle things ourselves. The only problem is that we fail to be in touch with our own feelings. Feelings are our most helpful link to our relationship and ourselves, others, and the world around us. And they are an indication of what's working or not working in our lives. Shutting them off only leads to more complex problems and physical illnesses. What you can feel, you can heal. If you don't allow yourself to feel what is going on inside of you, you won't know where to begin the healing process. On the other hand, many of us seem to go through life always feeling guilty or jealous or fearful or sad. We develop habit patterns that keep perpetuating the same experiences that we say we don't want to have. If you keep feeling angry or sad or fearful or jealous and don't get in touch with the underlying cause, you will continue to create more anger, sad, fear, etc. criteria. When we stop feeling like victims, we are able to take our power back. We must be willing to learn the lesson so the problem can disappear. When we trust the process of life and our spiritual connection with the universe, we can dissolve our angers and fears as soon as they appear. We can trust in life and know that everything is happening in divine right order and the perfect time, space, frequency. I agree. I think that's probably the hardest part at times is finding the balance in feeling your feelings in order to understand where it's coming from and the emotions and maybe the patterns that you've created in order to continue these emotions, but also understanding why you're needing to continue to go through these things until you actually learn and understand the divine order that's happening. So, what I take away from this is the balance and the support groups. And maybe you can have a conversation with yourself on finding a support group that works for you. And if that's something that you look into, if you could please let me know and what you enjoy about it and which group you chose. I would be really interested in learning about that. I myself will look into that as well. For I was raised in an abusive and an addicted household. So there's some things that continually come up in my thought process of not wanting to speak out for adding to the conflict and not wanting to express how I'm actually feeling. I have a girlfriend that does Al-Anon, and she really, really enjoys it. And every time I reach out to her, if I'm having a bad day, there's always, so you go to the back of the book and you go to, the word that you're feeling. So anger, frustration, um, um, exclusion. And then there's a chapter for that, and you read, and it says a little prayer. So, yeah, I hope you're enjoying your day. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, talk soon.